Hey guys, what's going on? Frank Rich here from Rebuilt Recovery. And in today's video, I want to address a very sensitive but very important topic. And before we get into the root of today's video, which we're going to talk about the connection and correlation between your addiction to pornography and masturbation and why you're feeling anxious or suffering with anxiety and depression. But before we get into the root of the video or the meat and potatoes of today's video, let me make sure that it is very clear that this is not a video that if you're struggling with severe clinical depression is going to lead you to overcome that. Guys, I'm not a licensed healthcare professional. I'm a certified coach, certified in the areas of health, fitness, and nutrition, and certified in the areas of pornography and sexual addiction coaching. So if you're really struggling with severe clinical depression, it is my advice and recommendation that you seek out a clinical professional, somebody that can really get to the root of these issues. But guys, I want to talk about why your addiction to pornography and masturbation is leading you to feel depressed and anxiety. You know, a lot of people are going to balk at that and they're going to say, no, it's the opposite. It's when I'm depressed, it's when I'm suffering with social anxiety that leads me to consuming pornography on a regular basis. And for a while, I thought this was the case for me too. But when I was actually able to step out of it and when I actually broke free and overcame close to 2 decades of pornography addiction, did I begin to realize that the depression that I was struggling with for pretty much my entire adult life was a result of me consuming pornography on a daily and sometimes multiple times a day basis. So let's get down to what is actually occurring from a physiological standpoint, and what is actually occurring in your brain when you watch pornography. So as men, we need to understand that we are visually stimulated. We are aroused through the visual, where women, they're more of an auditory. They're more of a, I'm gonna read something and it's gonna ignite that kind of sexual desires for me. Whereas men, we see a naked woman, we see a picture, we see a video, that's what gets us going, that's what gets us aroused. So guys, understanding how our brain works and understanding the connection between visual pleasure, visual stimulation, and the dopamine response. So I don't want to get overly scientific in this video, but understand that our brains are wired in a way to release dopamine. Dopamine is our body's pleasure center. It's a neurotransmitter that is designed to release this chemical in order to reward us for something that we enjoy, reward us for something that we got great pleasure out of. Now, this can be sex, it can be orgasm, it can be really anything that brings you joy in life. So, you know, for a lot of us, these are activities, these are hobbies that we participate in on a regular basis because they make us feel good about ourselves and about our lives. So realizing when you're in the heat of consuming pornography on a frequent and consistent basis, every new image, every new video, every act in that course of video is sending a signal to your brain to release dopamine, 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 dopamine. Now, we're not programmed, we weren't designed to have dopamine flooding our system continually. It's there as a reward. It's there as a way for us to remind ourselves that the act that we're participating in is something that we want to return to. Well, guys, with pornography, with literally having an infinite amount of videos, an infinite amount of women at our exposure, guys, this is not the way that we were programmed. This is not the way that God designed us. We weren't meant to have this frequent and really infinite release of dopamine. We also need to understand that the act of ejaculation, the act of orgasm, actually increases your dopamine by 400 to 500%. It shoots it up. So if you're watching and you're viewing porn and ejaculating and masturbating multiple times a day, guys, you're sending a signal to your brain like multiple times a day, like, let's get it, let's get it, let's get it. Now what you're doing is you're training and you're conditioning those dopamine receptors that the path to enjoyment, the path to reward, the path to release is through an artificial stimulus. You know, they've done brain scans with people watching porn. And when you are watching porn, it's activating a part of your brain that responds to objects. So there's a portion of our brain that when we see a naked woman, when we see another human being, fires. So that's the human response. When you're watching porn, you're shutting off that response and you're actually triggering the part of your brain that responds to objects. This is why so many men struggling with pornography are struggling with the objectification of women. So back to the dopamine and back to actually what is occurring inside of your brain and why this is leading to depression. So realizing that the fact that you have artificial stimulus literally at your fingertips 24 hours a day in an infinite source, you have the ability to just burn out that dopamine center, burn out that dopamine neurotransmitter. So what this ends up doing is this puts you in a position where the normal things in life that you should enjoy are no longer pleasurable. The normal interactions between yourself and other human beings are no longer enjoyable. That's where the social anxiety comes from, because you're conditioning yourself to treat other human beings as objects. So when you're in the presence of real life human beings, you don't have the skills. You're used to these people being objects, and now they're humans. So what are you gonna do? And that leads you to social anxiety. It leads you to keeping yourself locked up in your home, locked up in your room, and the only thing that you know to make yourself feel better is to watch more pornography. So it's this vicious cycle that you're putting yourself through. So realizing, guys, that viewing porn is not the result of you feeling depressed. The depression is the outcome of you viewing porn on a regular basis, because you're conditioning your brain that it gets its reward, it gets its pleasure from artificial resources. And guys, we don't live in an artificial world. We live in a world with other people, with other human beings. We were designed by our Creator to enjoy that time, to get pleasure, to get the dopamine release from the outside world and from others that we're bringing into it. So guys, if you are serious about breaking your addiction to pornography and masturbation, go back and watch some of my previous videos where I give you some steps. But I do want to let you know that we are looking for men to be a part of our Reboot Your Life coaching program. Guys, this is a hands-on, one-to-one, high-level coaching program that's going to help you break free from pornography addiction in as little as 90 days. So if this is something that you're interested in, download our free book. We have a free book, 7 Steps to Living Life Without Pornography. And within that process of getting that book, you can schedule a call with myself or anybody on my team, and we'll walk you through what it looks like to be a part of the program. And if you're serious and ready to make a change in your life, today's the day. But guys, you have to start today. You have to stop allowing yourself to fall victim and fall into the cyclical cycle of pornography, depression, and anxiety. Guys, I hope that this video helped you. I hope that there was value in it. If it was, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Also turn those post notifications on, and give us a like and comment, what kind of future content is going to help you. Guys, this channel is dedicated to helping men break free from porn addiction through the power of faith and fitness. So with that in mind, guys, what type of videos do you want to see? Leave us a note in the comment there below. But that's it, guys. Understand that by viewing porn on a regular basis, by conditioning and training yourself, that you can get the release, you can get the dopamine, you can get the pleasure anytime you want, that this is leading you to feel anxious, suffer from anxiety, and feel massively depressed. Guys, I know where you're at. I've been sitting in your seat before, and now I'm dedicated to helping you. So if you did find value in this video, like I said, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Leave us a comment below. But that's it, guys. We'll be back tomorrow with another video. But for now, Frank Rich from Rebuilt Recovery. Hope you guys have an amazing day, and I'll talk to you soon.